Yes. Of course he'd be sticking up for her. He's a prosecutor. I mean, sheesh. The defense may begin the cross-examination. You got it. I didn't see any single thing change. Pardon me. I did go to the clinic that day, my first time in half a year, since I quit in January. Whew. Fucking hiccups and burps. Ugh. Around what time did you go to the clinic? I don't remember exactly, but it was after 9:30, I think. And that was the first time you had contacted Dr. Maractus in half a year. Of course it was. He wasn't the kind of boss you made friends with. So, why did you go to the clinic that day? I went to warn him. She knew Waki had the pistol. Did you want Dr. Maractus to run away? Well, after I failed to stop Waki, I thought that was the only way, or only other way to avoid the problem. Couldn't you have called? Why go in person? I called several times that evening, but no one was in. The victim was busy driving home until after 9 PM that night, remember? This was proved by this mirror yesterday, yeah? I thought if I warned him, he would run away for sure. Knowing the doctor... Doctor always was a timid man. Oops, I didn't want to do that. Crap. Yeah, my bad. You mean that act of malpractice on Waki, correct? If he had just told Waki the truth in the beginning, none of this would have happened. True, that operation was the start of this whole affair. Oh, of course, if he told him, he might have been erased by the Kitakis much earlier. A disturbing thought. We know that the Maractus Clinic had ties to the Kitaki family. He probably couldn't have gone to the police even if he wanted to. That's why I knew I had to warn him. Why else would I have gone? I'm not hiding any dark secrets, aside from the fact that you're on file here. That's a bit of a dark secret. And also the doc would have known that the bullet was still close to the heart, because he couldn't have got it out. So this chart was found inside a... Wait. Inside a safe in the doctor's office? Yes. Why would this one chart be in that safe? Miss Tiala, you know why it was, don't you? Uh-oh. Whenever she's sweating, I'm just like, yeah, we got it. On the mark. Mind filling me in? Dr. Maractus didn't have the leisure of making mistakes. That's why he wrote up a false report and kept the truth locked away. Bad hair, Doctor. And this is where you come in, Miss Tiala. The nurse who filed this chart was you, which means you knew about Waki's failed operation. Interesting. You're in the same position as Dr. Maractus. Kinda makes it hard to claim no connection, doesn't it? You're bold for a novice, I'll give you that. Mr. Justice, you must know I was only a nurse. The doctor is responsible for the chart's contents. This chart business seems to be quite important. Please amend your testimony accordingly. Too bad, little attorney. Ah! There's a habit. My bracelet. My bracelet's reacting again. What is it, Apollo? I felt my bracelet vibrate just now. Your bracelet? Just like yesterday, like you said. When a witness is unsure of something, their nervous habit gives them away. But I can't see anything, Apollo. Eh? Then what's my bracelet reacting to? Wait, maybe... Yes, that has to be it. What has to be it? Your senses, Apollo. They must be sharper than mine. Huh? I can't see it, but you can sense it. I don't know about that, Trucy. I don't have some kind of special power or anything. Oh, but you do. Listen to me, Apollo. There's a weak point somewhere in Miss Tiala's testimony. But we don't know what her nervous habit is. Well, then what do? We have to perceive. You have to perceive it yourself, Apollo, with your eyes and your senses. Then it's up to me and my bracelet. I don't know why, but the bracelet helps. Somehow touching it helps me focus. Let's give it a shot and bring down that testimony. Okay. So why would I go to the client or clinic now for a half-a-year-old chart? Okay. I was looking at her specifically, just to see if anything happened. Why would I? Ah, there we go. Yeah, that did not happen. No. Go back. Here again. I hate how slow it is, but it's fine. Why would I? There it is. Confirm. Gotcha! Bitch! Oh, I can't help but do that. Gotcha! Why go to the clinic for Wait, why go to the clinic for a half-year-old chart now, you ask? But you know why you would go now, don't you? I don't know what you're talking about. It was quite clear, Miss Tiala, you have a nervous habit. The moment you said the word now, you used your right thumb to fiddle with your ring. What? She was unsure, I saw it. Now, that's the key word. The chart wasn't a part of your past. It was a clear and present threat. That's ridiculous. Why, if that were the case, I would have had 6 months to do something about it. Indeed. Which means something happened quite recently. Something to make that chart a problem for you now. I've got her on the ropes now, I can feel it. Time to strike the killing blow with evidence. Miss Tiala, there's no use trying to hide it. The chart became a threat to you now because of this. The chart became a threat? A threat? It wouldn't be the bullet. Oh, unless it... Ah, the checkup. Urgent exam. A health checkup report. Belonging to the defendant. The Kitakis are trying to get out of the business. The health checkup this month was their first ever. What did you think when you heard about this? Oh, nothing. Why should I think anything? Oh, I would think you were positively beside yourself. Because you were afraid. You knew that Waki's chest x-ray would reveal. Or what his x-ray would reveal. A full half-year had passed since the operation. You thought you were home free. When the chart came back to haunt you. Oh, what the fuck? Oh, okay. That was strange. I'm very confused. A little bit. Oh, there we go. Ah! That's all, Your Honor. What just happened? Did the witness just admit to lying? Yeah, she did. Because she's a bitch. I sensed it. There was a great aura emanating from her forehead. Very cool. So the lady was lying, it seems. That's correct. She said she said she had no connection to the Maractus Clinic, but her connection was deep indeed, a bit too deep. If the Kitakis got a hold of this chart with her name, she'd be finished. Isn't that right, Miss Tiala? You guessed it. Oh! Snap. Order, order! I did it! I broke her testimony. Amazing, Apollo. I didn't see it at all. That it was right about you. Wait. Miss Tiala? It's true. That chart was bad news for me. That's why I went to meet the doctor that day. But that's all. I told him about Waki and went home. It appears this cross-examination is far from over. What? She hid the truth from us. This is clear. Yet, it is not clear that this truth has anything to do with the case at hand. Very well. The witness will add this to her testimony. And we'll have a bit more cross-examination. We're so close. You're still close. Keep on her, Apollo. We're not in the final stretch, though. Nothing happened at all. I warned him and left. Did you, though? I mean, we did see this. Squash from impact with the... Oh, with the back of the safe. Oh, impact with the back of the safe. Okay, I got very confused. Unless... I'm trying to think how that would have worked. if she went and shot at him... Like, did he have the safe open? She missed, it hit the back of the safe and, you know, that's where it stayed. That's all I can think. All will be revealed. You say nothing happened in the doctor's office. I disagree. Take a look at this. What's that? It looks like a squashed up ball of clay. Kind of like you, actually. This bullet was found in the Maractus clinic office. In the safe. Something did happen in that office, Miss Tiala. Oh yeah! Enough of this joking around. The police investigated that clinic. They didn't get into the safe though, did they? Ah, but this was stuck inside the doctor's safe. Fool. Inside the safe? Oh! I guess the police didn't check that far. But there is a problem. How can you say that bullet was fired on that day? Weren't you the one who explained rifling marks to us? The pistol was taken from the Kitaki mansion that day. If the marks on this bullet match the murder weapon, then that proves a firearm was discharged in that office on the day of the murder. Not bad, Herr Forehead. Bailiff, have this bullet analysed immediately. Whew! This is a lengthy-ass fucking trial. Case. Episode. Whatever. 30 minutes later, the report arrives. The rifling marks on both bullets are identical. Owned. Get schooled. Bitch. Well, it seems as though the bullet in the safe was fired from the murder weapon. Perhaps the defense would like to state their position? The bullet in that safe proves one fact. A pistol was fired in that office on that day. And at the time of the firing, the safe was opened. The safe which contained the top secret chart. Do you think someone was threatening Dr. Maractus in order to open the safe? Oh my god, I've just realised how he got the bullet in his forehead. He had the noodle stand, right? Yeah, okay. I kind of just want to say this before I go through the next. It's purely speculation. But he got a bullet in his right temple, which could not have been from Waki, because if he had shot him, for starters, it would have gone into his left temple, if anything. However, if someone was in the stand, or even behind the stand, I don't know if the stand's like, you can see all the way through it or not, but either way, if someone was behind it, or even in it, and he turned his head, they could have shot him then and it would have hit him in the temple. I guess? Interesting. I don't know if that's the case, it's just, as I say, pure speculation. So, only one person was in a position to do such a thing. Our witness, Alita Tiala. Order, order, order! Mr. Justice, where are you going with this? Are you accusing the witness? I am indeed. Alita Tiala knew about Waki Kitaki's botched operation. She got engaged to him without telling him about it. As long as that bullet remained in his chest, his days were numbered. What if she married him and then the bullet finally reached its destination? But what? That reminds me. Apparently, the Kitakis have been asserting themselves in lawful business practices. They're making quite a great deal of money. A fortune, if you will. Nefarious. So, she planned to marry him just to get her hands on his fortune. That was from Alita, I'm guessing. Oh no, it's Waki. Oh. And keep talking trash about my Alita. And I'll sue you, lawyer man. Huh? Me? Yeah, you said you'd abuse my Alita. I think you mean accuse. Same difference. Well, you can't have her. She's mine. It was me, I shot that doctor, me. He left me to die, so I left him to die too. They're in that park. Waki, just cool down a second. Please. You keep your hands off my Alita, I'll... He? Miss Tiala? I'm sorry, it's been so long since I've laughed so hard. Something funny? Waki, wake up and smell reality. Alita, baby? The signature on the chart. The engagement. I mean, come on. It's so obvious. Even for a brainless, spoiled brat such as yourself. Knew it. I called this! Yeah! Alita. Your honesty is like a breath of foul air, Frau Lane. Hey, I wasn't getting out of this clean anyway. So, the family fortune is what you're really after. That's right, I wanted the money. No way, that's whack. I ain't trying to hear that. Should have done the wedding earlier. Oh well. By the way, can I ask you a question? Who, me? I believe you said you were going to abuse me. No. Accuse. Of what crime, might I ask? Huh? Oh, I'm a bad girl, sure. I got close to that brat because I wanted his money. But he was the one with the pistol. He could have fired it into the safe after I'd already left the clinic. What? I would never do a thing like that. It was definitely that silly brat. Wait, but... What are you talking about? Trucy? You had the most to lose if that chart was found. But I didn't have a pistol now, did I? But, well, you could have taken walkies. You think he'd have mentioned that now? Probably not, because he wants to protect you. All I've heard him say is, "It was me, I shot him." That's only because he's trying to protect you. There we go. Sorry to intrude in this lovely conversation. But the two of you are forgetting one critical point. What point? Certainly. The Frau Lane wanted that chart. You assume she threatened the doctor into opening that safe, but then... Wouldn't she have taken the chart? Oh, you see? That chart wouldn't have been left in that safe. Ah, that's a good point. He's right. Yeah, that's true. Miss Tiala. Yes? It is clear to this court that you are not a very good fiancé. Oh, I'm flattered. Perhaps it's time you told us the truth. The whole truth and nothing but the truth? Tell us about yourself, including your actions and whereabouts on that day. Don't forget, we've proven that you were at the Maractus Clinic on the day of the crime. Yeah, bitch. Just try and get us now. The Maractus Clinic too. Yes, I went to the clinic that day to speak to the doctor. I wanted that chart, but I failed to get it. So I went back to the clinic later. In any case, I didn't shoot him. You don't even have proof I stole that pistol, do you? And that brat was spotted in the park at the moment of the crime. Frankly, I don't think it matters if Dr. Maractus was shot in the temple or not. Interesting. So you went back later. That chart was dangerous, you understand? I needed to get rid of it. That's why I went that day. But you couldn't get the chart then, could you? And later that night, Dr. Maractus was shot. I heard about the shooting, waited a day, and then I had to go back. No easy feat with the cops all over the place. That was you? The thump. Apollo, that sound. It came from behind this door. Someone's in there. A break-in. They left through that window. So, you were the burglar. That was you too? If only I had one more minute. Then I could have opened that safe and gotten the chart. What? That's trespassing, and brazen at that. Oh, is this a trial for trespassing now? Besides, you can't blame a girl for wanting to protect herself. They are gangsters, you know. Yeah, whatever. In any case, Mr. Justice, your cross-examination. Admitting the little crime to avoid the big one, eh? Aren't you smart? Okay. Why that day? That brat was uncontrollable. He was ready to kill. And that would bring in the police. And that chart would become evidence. Then I'd be hung out to dry. But the police didn't check the safe, did they? Well, they thought the crime scene was the park. I'll make sure the responsible parties feel the heat. Such sloppiness won't be tolerated, yeah? I'm kinda thankful for that sloppiness myself, actually. Indeed. She wanted that chart, but she failed to get it, so she went back to the clinic later. Later? When I heard what happened, well, I was too scared to do anything that day. So I waited until the day after. The 16th, was it? Hey, Slip Dip. How's it going? Of course, you and that meddling kid had to get in my way. But why did Dr. Maractus keep that chart around? It was clearly dangerous for him. He could have burned it. Because he's a coward. The chart was his insurance. Insurance? My signature on that chart, to be more specific. That made sure I couldn't betray him. Oh. Yeah, because I didn't shoot him, you don't even have proof I stole that pistol, do you? Well, I mean, no, because there's no prints on the pistol. But whatever. But you could have stolen it. Oh, that's good. I'm glad to hear that. Could have? Is this some new definition of proof? We'll ask Wacky. He'll tell us. No, he won't. Might remind you this is a cross-examination. You might want to keep your baseless theories to yourself. He's right, isn't he? Of course he is. That brat was spotted in the park. Yes, yes. But what? You have nothing to say. This case is over. It was over the moment that brat was seen in the park. What's the point in dragging it out any further? Frankly, I don't think it matters if Dr. Maractus was shot in the temple or not. Why does that not matter? The doctor was shot in the right temple. Yes. So it seems. Let's review the facts again, shall we? Okay. Oh. So, if the killer was shot from this location, the bullet would have struck our victim square in the forehead. However, the entry wound was in the right temple. Yes, we heard testimony on this yesterday. So at the time of the shooting, the witness was standing here. Just before the gun was fired, he shouted. The victim turned his head to look. That's not true, though. He was at the other side. He was on the north side, not the south. The victim turned his head to look and was shot. Yeah, we've already gone through that, but that testimony was proven to be a lie. Our egregious panty snatcher, Mr. Stickler, did witness the crime, but he was standing to the north, next to the trash can where he tossed those panties. If Mr. Stickler shouted from this location, the bullet wouldn't or couldn't hit his right temple. Oh, but it could have. Silly, silly attorney. What? Do you remember what you had for breakfast that morning? Do you remember, Trucy? I always have a glass of milk for breakfast. What matters is one thing. The doctor was shot in his right temple. If that's the case, there can only be one explanation. The panties guy was mistaken. I don't think so. But his location was proven. You can't write that off as him being mistaken. Then why don't you show us her forehead? It's actually hair, isn't it? Yeah, whatever. Show you what? Evidence. Must I explain everything? Very well, let's recap. If the witness, panties guy, was standing to the north, then where was the shooter standing? From what location did the killer shoot the victim? But wait, if the witness was standing there, how could anyone shoot the victim in the right temple? I merely laid out the facts for us. It is up to the one possessing the shiny forehead to show us. If you can, that is. Waki Kitaki was standing at the killer mark, Wesley Stickler at the witness mark, and of course Palmeractis was at the victim mark. Let's hear what the defense has to say. Where was the killer standing when they shot the victim? Someplace else. As the facts stand now, we can't explain this crime without contradicting ourselves at some point. But I know why. The real killer shot from an entirely different location. What are you talking about? I don't see any other place. Oh, but I do, the stand. And funnily enough, there's a bunch of bowls. And literally everything from inside of the stand seems to be inside of the Maractus Clinic lobby. Almost as if they were trying to make room for something. Apparently Mr. Justice does. Let's hear it. Where in the park did the killer shoot the victim from? This is weird. Because I speculated this and it seems like it's coming true. It's time to raise the roof, and the stakes. Penalties are such frightening things, don't you think? But what if they were a bit more terrifying? Oh, great. Oh, shit. That's double. Like so. Double penalty. So Hair4Head wishes to take us in a new direction. Then he must be ready for the challenges ahead. Challenge accepted. It's justice time. Are you sure, Apollo? The key is the witness, Mr. Stickler's testimony. If we believe that, and we know where he stood, and the victim turned when he shouted, then there's only one place the killer could have been. The killer shot the victim from here. Can I double click? Nope. Present. I believe we all owe a debt of gratitude to Miss Alita Tiala. What do you mean? Thanks to you, we had a chance to review the crime. And this time, we were prepared. We know that Wesley Stickler was telling the truth. We should have listened to him from the beginning. What's happening? Oh crap. The graphics seem to bug out whenever it does this 3D stuff. Wesley Stickler was standing next to the trash can when he saw the two men. It might not bug out, but it did last session, so I don't have high hopes. He shouted, just as he told us in his testimony. Stop! And the victim turned to look in his direction. A shot was fired. The victim was hit in the right temple. Oh no. Oh, there we go, the graphics aren't fucked this time. Awesome. I mean, they weren't exactly fucked, they were just showing up as white space. It was very weird. Oh yes. Definitely takes a while to get back to this though, I'll admit. Which direction was his right temple facing at that moment? That's right, toward the noodle stand. Order, order, order. So you're saying the killer was inside the noodle stand? Let's think about this a bit more, shall we? You say the killer was inside the noodle stand, which would mean that the victim, Dr. Maractus, came to the park, wheeling his own murderer in the cart behind him. This is the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard. I'd think you'd notice if you were pulling someone along. What if they were being threatened? There's something we should worry about before that. Why was he pulling the noodle stand in the first place? That's also true. Let's deal with our problems one at a time, shall we? Someone was hiding in the stand. We have not come this far to talk about possibilities. Let's talk about proof, baby. Show us evidence that proves someone was in the stand. Can I prove that? You want evidence that someone was in that stand? Well, I've got it. Got it right here. Intriguing. Let's see what you've got. So show us proof that someone was hiding in the noodle stand. There we go. The Maractus Clinic. And they're covered with paint. These slippers were found in a trash can near the crime scene. And a single slipper print was found at the scene. Right next to the noodle stand. Oh, and Miss Tiala? Your toe print was found in the left slipper. Oh. In other words, this is proof you were inside that noodle stand. Yes! This is the best. I love this theme. Oof. I don't know, I really, really like it. It makes you feel like you're really making progress. It's awesome. Yet there was only one slipper mark found at the scene. Can this be called a footprint in good faith? Observe the diagram. So a park pathway runs right next to the slipper mark. The slipper wouldn't leave a trace on a cobblestone path. Yet you still cannot say this is a footprint. Yeah? Why not? You have an impression left by a single slipper. What if it was on the stand and simply fell to the ground? It would not have hit with that much force. That's just dumb. One more thing. A noodle stand is typically cluttered with the tools of the noodle making trade. There's no room for a person to ride in there. Funny you should say that. You have a point. Could someone have hidden in that stand? Apollo, I think I might be onto something. Is she gonna say, remember what I've seen? Or remember what we saw? I think I've figured out one of our pieces of evidence. In order to make room in the stand, some things would have to be removed. Well, Mr. Justice, do you have proof that someone could have hidden in the stand? I can prove one thing. Someone did scheme to clear space in that stand. The bowl. This is a noodle bowl from the stolen Eldoon's noodle stand. It's a fucking mouthful. Yeah, somewhat about it. We discovered a large quantity of these bowls yesterday. In the lobby of the Maractus Clinic. A large quantity of noodle bowls in the victim's clinic. Mr. Eldoon was very clear about those bowls. Well, I don't care who did it. Without that stand, I'm finished. All my noodle bowls were in there too. There you go. But they weren't. Yet the bowls were removed. That night, there was space inside that noodle stand. Space created at the Maractus Clinic, no less. Right around the time that you were there, Miss Alita Tiala. Uh-oh, snap. God, we're getting her. Real good. Jesus, I won't listen to any more of these wild fantasies. No, not fantasies. They're worse lies than that spoiled brat's pickup lines. Yeah, I would imagine his pickup lines are pretty shit. Either way, I would like to remind the witness of her current status. This court does not consider you entirely innocent. Show me an innocent. I'll show you a fairy tale. In any case, the defense has somehow made its point. The witness had both a motive and an opportunity to kill Dr. Maractus. More fairy tales. This whole trial is a fairy tale. Then please, pull us back down to reality, Miss Tiala. I'm giving you one last chance to explain yourself. This is it. Why was Dr. Maractus pulling that stand that night? What was Alita Tiala doing inside it? Time to get to the bottom of this case. Okay. So Tiala's explanation. So that night I went to ask Dr. Maractus for the chart. I had no intention of ever letting that chart fall into the Kataki family's hands. But Dr. Maractus didn't understand. For some reason, he thought the Katakis had sent me. So I gave up and went home. All I did was talk to him. Oh god, I'm not entirely sure where she could be screwing about. You knew about the botched operation. So you tried to get rid of the chart to save yourself. I won't make excuses. And I did warn the good doctor. I gave him a chance. I told him that Brat got his health checkup report. And that he was coming to settle the score. I see. Very well, Mr. Justice. Begin your cross-examination. Yes, Your Honour. This is the last testimony. Either I perceive the truth, or it's over. Oh, so I do have to find a habit spot. My only honest, place would have been either the 3rd or the 5th